So one of my interests, I've always had a deep interest in science, but I suppose one of the challenges I met when I would want to learn science formally was that it seemed to have a very narrow set of lenses and approaches. It seemed to come out of me and only allow a certain narrow set of questions. And I found that very challenging. And I felt that there were deeper questions or broader questions, especially if we started to say, I want to learn about the mineral realm. There were certain kind of ways we could approach the mineral realm. But if we wanted to understand the plant realm, I felt that I wasn't always satisfied with the way that the questions we were bringing to the plant, and also the ones that seemingly we didn't seem that we could ask. So interestingly for me, science has become much less one set of methods or one set of languages or one set of ways of looking at the world. But to me, science increasingly needs to become multiple different ways of looking at the world. And it needs to be able to be clear that there are different ways of seeing and there are different ways of knowing. And before we can really say, this is a fact, or this is my data, or this is true, or this is not true, a step before that is to be clear about this is the way of knowing I have brought to the table. This is my way of seeing that I have brought to the table. And then when we are presented with something as fact or data or findings, we need to do that little bit of work to say, from what is this arising from? What is the way of knowing out of which this arises? And that's quite challenging because that's a different step to take in science. We can't just look at what comes out of science. We have to look at how the science has come about.